You are about to hear Shots Fired in Anger, a rifleman's eye view of the activities on the island of Guadalcanal by John B. George, narrated by John Riddle. Copyright 2019, BN Publishing, online at bnpublishing.com. Chapter 1. Rifle Range Days. As the possession of this last village was important to our future operations, I directed that it might be occupied by a detachment consisting of 4 companies of riflemen. The Duke of Wellington, August 16, 1808. A hobby. My fondness for rifle shooting began at the age of 7, when I was first allowed to borrow my brother's rifles and go out from our house on the outskirts of a small Midwestern town to shoot squirrels. Squirrel shooting, I know, is a sport that rates very highly with me to this day, because I have at this writing just returned from a squirrel hunt on the reservation here at Camp Blanding, Florida. It was a great pleasure to find that the sniping and rifle shooting experiences of a war and the killing of many head of big game had in no way dimmed my appreciation of that delightful woodland pastime. My pulse quickened in the same old way each time I cracked down on one of the 7 fat grays I bagged, and my mouth waters now as I anticipate a supper of fried young gray squirrel. Competitive rifle shooting began for me on the 50-foot gallery in the basement of the Lakeview High School in Chicago, Illinois. My family had moved to the city while I was still of grammar school age, taking me away from my cherished Missouri hills and woodlands. My hunting in the States was held to short trips and visits to relatives in the country, but I found the sport of punching holes in paper targets almost made up for the loss. I became involved in all sorts of small-bore rifle competitions, shooting on both indoor and outdoor club and state teams before my 18th birthday. The big bore bug also took hold about that time, and I had obtained a national match rifle when I was 15, and had dry-fired and practiced with the enthusiasm only a schoolboy can enjoy. In due time I enlisted in the Illinois National Guard, shooting my way onto the state rifle team each year that I was able to attend the national rifle matches at Camp Perry, Ohio. The Chicago Rifle Club, affectionately and otherwise known as the SOBs by neighboring organizations, afforded an excellent medium for competitive rifle shooting in and around Chicago, and it was a pleasure to be able to fire on their .30 caliber team. This Chicago Rifle Club had a decided aversion to small bore shooting, so I also became a member of the Winnetka Rifle Club in order to participate in .22 caliber shooting too. It kept me very busy getting around to all the necessary shoots, but it paid great dividends in pleasure. By the time I was inducted as a second lieutenant in the newly federalized 132nd Infantry in March 1941, I had become thoroughly wrapped up in rifle shooting. At odd times during our rifle matches, the inevitable conversations concerning the possible military application of our marksmanship schooling would come up among the small groups of club members formed behind the firing line. As a patriotic youngster, I was incapable of seeing eye to eye with some of my fellow competitors, who failed to connect civilian life competition in any way with national defense or preparedness. I seemed to see in what we were doing a sport made more enjoyable because it did have a definite end and purpose. To me it seems that there is something a little noble about the use of modern weapons in sport, a quality not found today in any hobby not associated with the handling of firearms. The tilt yard and the archery ranges, traditional in British history, are gone as a recreational adjunct to military training and a means of making a people able to defend their nation and their ideals. However, our modern writers still give these sites of ancient competitive sports more color and glamour than is ever accredited to the rifle and pistol ranges which have replaced them. When rifle shooting as a national defense measure is discussed in writing by a layman,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?